We often hear about these tech certifications, and they can sound a bit dry, like just another line item on a resume. But what if one of them is turning into a golden ticket for a 2026 career, with salaries pushing past $200,000 and the hottest jobs not even being in tech companies? Today, we're talking about the AWS SAA-C03 certification.
It's the perfect place to start because the ground is really shifting. By 2026, Gartner is predicting that over half of all IT spending globally is going to be on the cloud. So this certification isn't just a piece of paper anymore. It's basically a stamp of credibility.
Right. So, you're saying it's moved beyond just knowing the jargon. It's about proving you can actually build something that works, something that doesn't fall over when it gets a little busy.
Exactly. And employers are treating this cert like a shortcut to trust. They know that if you've passed the SAA-C03, they don't have to spend 6 months training you on how to handle a massive server failure. You already know the playbook. You're job ready from day one.
Okay, that makes sense. So, is this just about keeping the lights on, or is there a deeper financial play for these companies?
Oh, it's definitely about the bottom line. The real aha moment here is cost optimization. In 2026, cloud waste is a firing offense. Companies are hiring SAA-C03 professionals specifically to trim the fat. They use things like AWS spot instances and auto-scaling to make sure a company isn't bleeding money on computing power they aren't even using. It's essentially financial engineering, but inside a technical role.
So, it's as much about the wallet as it is about the web. But this demand isn't just staying inside the tech bubble, right? It seems to be spreading into industries you might not expect.
It's everywhere. We're seeing these massive hiring spikes in healthcare for secure data storage, in finance for real-time fraud detection, and even in media for global streaming platforms. The AWS architect has become this sort of universal hire for any major company.
That's fascinating. So it's not just Google or Amazon hiring these people anymore.
Not at all. I mean, think about a traditional retail chain. They used to have their own servers, and on Black Friday, the website would inevitably crash. I heard about one that moved to AWS, and their crash rate during peak sales dropped to 0. For a company like that, an AWS architect isn't just a tech guy. They are literally the person who saved the holiday revenue. These non-tech industries are finally shedding their 20-year-old legacy systems, and they need experts to guide them.
It's a total shift in value. And speaking of value, let's talk about the actual numbers, because the 2026 salary projections for these roles are pretty eye-popping.
They really are. For 2026, we're looking at entry-level roles starting around $85,000 to $110,000. But the real jump is for senior architects, who are easily clearing $200,000 when you factor in bonuses.
And it's not just a high number in a vacuum. It's high compared to other certifications. The data shows AWS certified pros earning, on average, between $130,000 and $150,000, which is significantly more than those with similar Azure or Google Cloud certs.
It's the law of supply and demand. AWS has the biggest market share, so the ecosystem is just deeper and more mature. It's like being a car mechanic. If 70% of the cars on the road are from one brand, the specialists for that brand are always going to have the most leverage and command the highest price.
Got it. So, is that higher salary just about the AWS brand name, or is the work fundamentally different?
I think it's about the versatility. The SAA-C03 is what you'd call a horizontal certification. It covers networking, security, storage, and serverless computing all at once. An Azure certification, for example, might be seen by some employers as a specialization, especially within a corporate Windows environment. But an AWS certification is often seen as a license to build almost anything from scratch on the world's most used platform. That versatility is exactly why the paycheck is higher.
A bigger toolkit justifies a bigger paycheck. That makes perfect sense. So, to bring this all together, what are the absolute key takeaways for someone thinking about this path in 2026?
Well, I'd boil it down to 4 main points. First, the salary ceiling is real, and it's high. Senior architects can expect packages breaking the $200,000 mark. Second, there's a clear AWS premium. You're looking at earning 15 to 20% more than non-certified peers, and often more than those with other cloud certs. Third, the biggest growth is now outside of tech. Think healthcare, finance, even government. And finally, this certification is a gateway to new jobs that are just now emerging, like cloud cost optimization analyst or serverless computing specialist, roles entirely focused on efficiency and automation.